All right. Hello, everyone. This is the Mgtow Cowboy. Greetings and salutations. This evening, I would like to share with you a couple of stories, a joke, and some phrases about a certain type of girl. I'm going to call this video something like larger girls, larger than life gals, I don't know, plumpers. Have you ever had a plumper? Something like that. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about those special girls. You know those particular girls. They go by several names. They go by many names. A larger than life girl. What other euphemisms can we use? A BBW, a fatty, a fupa, a buffet slayer, a gordita, a plumpette, a ditch pig, a calorie queen, a land whale, a chub, maybe thickalicious. I like that one. That's when they're not too big. They're still good looking enough. They haven't gained too much weight. Anyway, if you guys haven't guessed, I'm talking about fat girls, right? And of course, we live in a society now where it is basically at the point where it is politically incorrect now to call women fat. So all these euphemisms rise up. And at this point, I should probably point out. At this point, I should point out that I am now opening myself up to criticism because I am significantly overweight. I would say I'm at least 50 pounds overweight, maybe more like 60 or 70 pounds. In fact, last year I lost almost 50 pounds. And then I proceeded to fall off my diet and then gain almost all of it back. Drinking beer, going to buffets, being bad. So I think in the coming weeks, probably in less than 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to go back on my diet and try to get back on it and try not to fall off until I reach my desired weight or BMI. So, but at least that'll probably give me some good material to cover for my Mgtow channel. We'll see. So anyway, I wanted to tell a couple stories. So I must admit that I have I've tried out some of the big girls. I've had, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 of them. And my very first one was actually when I was real young. I think I was 19. There was this fat girl. Okay, well, the thing is, I wasn't interested in her. I was interested in her sister, who was like skinny and like taller than her and skinnier than her. I end up at this party. They're both there. For some reason, the skinny one leaves, and I end up alone with the fat one. And then I end up banging her. And I remember during the act, I was like, maybe I should put like a condom on. She was like, huh? You think? I was like, yeah, probably. Good thing I did, because who knows, my goodness, could you imagine if I actually got her Prego? Oh, God, my life would be ruined. It would be so much different than it is today. That's another thing. I've had a lot of close calls like that. I call them close calls. I don't know how close it ever was, but all you need is one little spermie to make contact with one little eggy, and then your life can change forever. But yeah, that was the first time. The second time, and then what happened is when I was 23, I moved to South Dakota. I lived in South Dakota for 5 years, for 5.5 years, and then after graduating, moved back to Chicago. Well, that was really most of my experience with the fatties. One was real fat. It was real short. We only hooked up a couple times, and then the one after that was less fat. She was like thickalicious. She was still fat, but she was like more of a healthy fat. Yeah, I don't know how else to put that. She was still overweight. she was still obese, but in an attractive way. And she was, really young, redhead. And I remember, I don't want to be too obscene in this video, but just to be honest, when we would make love, her gazungas, her cans, her her knockers were so big that she had such huge melons. They would actually bounce around to the point where they would like slap her in the face when we were banging. And I don't know. I just always found that kind of funny. But I can tell you honestly, just overall, it's there's pros and cons. And it's harder when you're you're going to town on these girls, because there is more, as they say, there's more cushion for the pushing. You gotta thrust a little bit harder, and you gotta be careful. You don't want to slip a disc or throw your back out or something like that. So, and there's other pros. There's pros and cons. There's pros and cons. First the cons, right, is like, yeah, there's more cushion for the pushing. It is harder. The second thing I would say is there's there are some how can I put this? You're dealing with more surface area, and there can be some crevices involved and sweat pockets, and as Traversable Mgtow put it once in his live stream, women have odors. Women have odors, and those odors tend to be more odoriferous the bigger she is, and so that's something to take into account. And that leads into another point, not negative, not positive, but negative about dating fat girls. They're unattractive. It's unattractive when a girl pulls her pants down and you get slapped in the face with a negative odor. And then of course they're unsightly. And that really depends on how fat they are. But the more fat, the more unsightly. And sometimes, yeah, it is better to turn the lights low. We all look the same in the dark. But yeah. And then lastly, I just want to put out the fact, this is obvious, but they get winded. They're out of shape. If you're walking in the park and then you got to walk uphill for a little bit, once you reach the top of that hill, they need to take a second. They got to catch their breath. So yeah, those are the cons. The pros, the pros are actually, there's some significant pros. I wrote a couple down. One is they tend to be good at giving head, if you know what I'm saying. They they're good at giving head. I don't know why that is. I imagine, I surmise, or if you want to psychoanalyze them, I think maybe they think that they've got to make up. They need to overcompensate for their being overweight. I don't know. Maybe a simpler explanation is just they're obviously really good at sticking things in their mouth, and they do that a lot, obviously. So if you do something a lot, you get a lot of practice, you get good at it, right? So this is a true statement, or this is a true experience I have had. I have gotten head from many a girl, many a female. I'm not bragging, but I can tell you, most of the skinny girls do not give as good head as bigger girls. In fact, all of the girls that I have ever gotten what I would call the best head were bigger girls. In fact, I've had, I think, 2 girls, so this is not a big sample size, but I've had 2 girls who can, just take it all the way, right? They take it all the way. You know what I mean by that? They, they go all the way. It just totally disappears, and they were both bigger girls. So that's a strong point. If you like that kind of thing, that's gonna be a big pro. So then the second point is let's see, they're good at head. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, they're good cooks. Yeah, bigger girls. I mean, to their credit, they they're handy. They're handy around the fireplace. They're handy around they're good cooks. They're handy around the kitchen, right? They're good with spices and stuff, and they know how to whip stuff up. Fast forward a couple more years, so back in college, and then fast forward more. So I'm 37 now. The last time I've dated, it's crazy to say this, but I haven't dated now going on 6 years. I guess it'll be 7 years. I'll be 38. Last time I dated when I was 31. So it's going to be 7 years since I have not had a girlfriend. I've gone totally Mgtow. I still get it, but I pay for it, how I pay for it, how I pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the last time I had a girlfriend, my last girlfriend, she was a big girl. She was a big girl, definitely. But man, could she cook. I mean, she could pull out some real tricks in the kitchen. And she had all kind of, spices, and she had a couple of recipe books, and man, you could see, I mean, what she could do with what's that called? A crock pot and some meat and spices, man, you don't even know. So that was a definite plus. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll leave you guys with a joke. I went online. I found this joke. I've heard it before. I forgot it, but now I remember it again now that I see it. All right, here's the joke. How is banging a fat girl kind of like riding a moped? It's fun until your friends catch you doing it. Haha. All right, very good. All right, guys, I'll leave it at that. This was just a quick, crazy, I don't know, Mgtow entertainment piece. If you're fat and you're a man, remember you can change your circumstances. Women can too, and I need to as well. And but yeah, this was just a little piece of entertainment. I'll leave it at that. If you guys like my content, please like, please comment, please subscribe, and have a good rest of your evening. All right, bye now.